The Bold and the Beautiful Will's mysterious awakening, Luna's trap exposed, and Sheila's betrayal ignites a war in LA. Los Angeles has never been safe from secrets. But what happened behind the closed doors of Il Giardino may mark a turning point that shatters families, ignites rivalries, and flips the balance of power in the Bold and the Beautiful. It starts in silence, in the dim backroom of Deacon Sharp's restaurant, where Will Spencer wakes up on the cold couch, disoriented, hungover, and completely unaware of what happened the night before. His last memory is has he a drink, a laugh, Luna's voice, then nothing. The next thing he knows, morning light slices through a cracked door, and he's alone. But not for long. Deacon is the first to find him. At first, it's confusion, then concern. But something doesn't add up. Will doesn't drink like this. He's not reckless. He doesn't black out. And Luna. The last time Deacon saw her, she was dressed to kill and pouring Will another glass. That's when Deacon's instincts kick in. Something went down here. Something calculated. And Deacon Sharp, with all his years of street-smart survival, isn't to let it slide. He pulls the surveillance footage from Il Giardino's security cameras, scrubbing through hours of grainy video, watching Will laugh, watching Luna touch his hand, refill his glass, lead him to the back. But what shocks him isn't the footage, it's what's missing. A 10-minute blackout in the recording. A suspicious cut. When he checks the logs, the system was tampered with. Someone edited the footage. Someone who knew what they were doing. Deacon isn't just suspicious, no, he's furious. He turns to the receipts. Every transaction, every bottle poured, every item ordered. A signature will is in a tab far longer than anything he'd remember ordering. A bottle of imported whiskey, champagne, cocktails, some he never drinks. The bill is off. Luna's name isn't anywhere on it, but one of the waiters recalls seeing her hand over a black card. A black Spencer card. That's all Deacon needs. He tracks down the waiter, a nervous kid named Rafi, who swears he didn't know anything illegal was happening. But he saw Luna speak to another staff member, Simeon, who owed her a favor. That staff member. Gone. Quit the next morning. No forwarding address. A burner phone. Disappeared. Deacon starts to piece it together. Luna set Will up. She got him drunk intentionally. She guided him to that room. And while nothing overtly criminal seems to have happened, immediate intent is clear. She was manipulating him. Why? That's what Deacon wants to know. He confronts Luna in the restaurant's wine cellar. No customers, no staff, just two people and a truth that can't be dodged. At first, she denies. Then she shifts blame. Says Will was willing. That it was mutual. But Deacon doesn't flinch. He lays out the footage, the receipts, the names, the edits. And finally, Luna cracks. She doesn't admit everything, but she doesn't have to. Her silence is enough. Her eyes say more than her mouth ever could. Deacon throws her out. Not just out of the restaurant, but out of his trust, out of his world. And just when he thinks the betrayal can't go deeper, he finds something else. A slip of paper in the office. A copy of the original footage, uncut. Someone had backed it up on a thumb drive before the edits. And the name on the login. Sheila Carter. That's when it clicks. Sheila knew. Sheila watched it happen. Sheila helped cover it up. The woman he let back into his life. The one he defended. The one he gave the benefit of the doubt. She stood by and said nothing. Or worse, he enabled it. Deacon goes home that night, every step heavy with rage. Sheila's waiting, like always, playing domestic goddess. She smiles, asks about the business, offers him a drink. He doesn't answer. He stares. She knows something's wrong. She starts to speak. He cuts her off with one line, "You protected Luna." The room drops 10 degrees. Sheila tries to recover. Says she didn't know. Says she didn't think it was serious. That she was just trying to help. But Deacon doesn't give her room to spin. He reads out the timestamp, the footage, the file path with her login. She panics. She says she did it for him, to keep things smooth, to avoid another scandal, that it was harmless, that Will's fine, that no crime was committed. Deacon explodes, not with fists, but with words sharp enough to cut steel. He tells her she crossed a line, that she made him look like a fool, that this wasn't a mistake, it was sabotage. And not just of Will, but of them, of everything. He tells her to pack her things. She's out, of the restaurant, of the apartment, of his life. Sheila tries to claw back. She threatens. She pleads. She cries. But Deacon's done. The door slams behind her. And just like that, the war begins. Sheila doesn't disappear. She never does. She makes a quiet call, not to Deacon, not to Luna, but to someone else, a new player, someone who owes her, someone who's about to step into the spotlight. Because Sheila doesn't lose. She waits. She plots. And this time, she has nothing left to lose. Meanwhile, news of what happened at Isle Jardina spreads faster than wildfire. Bill hears about it from Willow, once sober and clearer, starts to piece together the emotional manipulation. He's angry, embarrassed, but more than anything, humiliated. And when he learns that Luna played him, and that Sheila knew, the gloves come off. Will Spencer doesn't just want justice. He wants vengeance. He wants to scorch the earth. He tells Justin to dig into everything Luna's past, Poppy's finances, any ties to Sheila. He tells Carter to lock down the legal side. He tells Ridge, who is still undergoing treatment, that the Spencers and Forresters need to align. For Will. For Deacon. For LA. Ridge, weakened but focused, agrees. Lines are drawn. On one side, Bill, Ridge, Deacon, and the families they protect. On the other, Luna, now exposed, Poppy, increasingly unstable, and Sheila, regrouping for a new offensive. The legal fallout begins. Will gives a statement. Deacon offers evidence. The LAPD gets involved. It's not about assault yet, but manipulation, fraud, tampering. Sheila is questioned. She smiles through it, says it was all a misunderstanding. But the doll isn't convinced. Back at Forrester, Hope learns about Luna's deception. Her shock is personal. She defended Luna, stood by her, gave her a platform. Now she feels betrayed. She tells RJ. He's silent, then furious. He storms out, unsure if the girl he loved ever existed at all. Luna, now cornered, goes to Poppy. But Poppy has her own secrets. She tells Luna she warned her not to play games with power. That this is what happens when you use men like pawns. Luna begs her mother to help, but Poppy, tired and scared, turns away. You made this mess, she says. Now live in it. As the episode ends, the camera pans across LA. Isle Jardino stands empty. Its lights off. Sheila watches from a car across the street, her eyes burning. Deacon sits at the bar, alone. Will walks out of Spencer Publications, a folder in his hand, legal filings. Bill watches from his office, jaw clenched. And Luna. Luna is on her own. For the first time. Truly alone. The bold and the beautiful Will's memory returns. Electra uncovers Luna's mask. And the fallout begins. The chaos of that night still clings to Will Spencer like a shadow he can't escape. He sits in his penthouse alone, staring into a glass of water that should be something stronger. But he knows better now. His head still aches, not from alcohol anymore, but from the gnawing pressure of fragmented memories, images that refuse to line up, words spoken in slurred echoes, touches he can't identify. Laughter, he swears, wasn't his. That night at the party was supposed to be a celebration. It turned into a war zone inside his head. And every attempt to remember leads back to her Luna. Will's waking hours are consumed with rewinding the night, mentally scrubbing through interactions. He remembers arriving with Electra on his arm, her presence commanding every room they walked into. He remembers stepping away to take a call, then returning to the bar alone. That's when the images blur. A woman in a silver dress, a fragrance that wasn't Electra's, fingertips on his wrist, laughter, something whispered in his ear, and then a thing. The next image is waking up in a locked backroom at Il Giardino, lips dry, shirt intact, a sour taste in his mouth, and no idea how he got there. Electra is no fool. She saw Will's absence. She felt the shift in his mood, and she saw the hesitation in his eyes when he tried to explain it away. Just drank too much, he said. Bad oysters, he joked. But the light behind the joke never reached his eyes. And Electra, razor-sharp and never one to accept half-truths, started her own investigation. Her first instinct: surveillance. Il Giardino's security system was compromised, but Electra had a backup. A private app she had installed for personal security thing official. Just a motion-triggered backup she forgot she even had. The footage isn't perfect, but it's enough. She sees a figure in a silver dress approach Will. She sees the moment his glass is swapped. She sees Lunamus, not in a disguise that screamed anonymity, but enough of a change to confuse a man who was already disoriented. A new hair color, heels too high for Luna's usual step, contacts, makeup. It was all calculated. Electra recognizes the movements, the posture, and then she finds the clincher Luna slipping a small black clutch back into her coat, the same clutch Electra saw days earlier during a fitting at Forrester Creations. Electra doesn't confront Will. Not yet. She confronts the evidence. She puts it all together. And it fits. Luna lured Will away, disguised herself, spiked his drink, led him into isolation, and made sure whatever happened in that room stayed undocumented. But why? Back at Spencer Publications, Will can't take the guilt anymore. He hasn't fully remembered everything, but the pieces he can recall are enough. A soft voice calling his name, her hands guiding his. The panic in his chest when he realized something wasn't right in the inability to speak it. The nausea, the blackout, and the way Luna smiled the next morning when she walked past him like nothing had happened. He tells Electra what little he knows, that he drank too much, that he doesn't remember everything. That something happened, but he's not even sure what. He doesn't mention Luna's Neme. He still doesn't have full proof, but Electra sees the fear in his eyes, the guilt, the shame. And that's when she strikes. She shows him the footage. At first, Will is silent. Then he crumbles. It's not just about what Luna did. It's about what it cost. His integrity, his trust with Electra, his public image. If this story goes public, if it's twisted the wrong way, he's not just a victim, becomes a liability. People will ask why he let himself be compromised. What happened in that room? And if Luna decides to flip the narrative, say it was consensual, say he was the aggressor, the one who pursued her, then it becomes a scandal of another kind. The kind that destroys careers, and marriages, and reputations. Electra gives him a choice. Come clean and fight, or stay silent and become complicit in a lie that will fester. Will hesitates. Not because he doesn't want to do the right thing, but because he knows how dirty this will get. Meanwhile, Luna starts to unravel. She knows Electra is circling. She knows Will remembers more than he's saying. And she's running out of time. She confronts Poppy, demanding support. But Poppy, already on the edge from her own secrets being exposed, refuses to shield Luna this time. You crossed a line, she says. And now you'll face it alone. Luna turns to Sheila. But even Sheila is keeping her distance. After the fallout with Deacon, Sheila's trying to salvage her own reputation, and aligning with Luna now is a sinking ship she refuses to board. Luna is alone. The legal threats come fast. Justin Barber, acting on Bill's orders, files a preliminary inquiry into the party incident. Spencer PR begins prepping for fallout. Journalists sniff the story from corners of gossip blogs. One anonymous source leaks that the Spencer heir was lured by a Forrester insider. The rumors ignite instantly. At Forrester Creations, Ridge are covering, but slowly hears the news from Thomas. He's livid. Not just because Luna's actions could jeopardize the company's name, but because they could drag the Forresters into scandal by association. He orders Carter to draft immediate distance statements, legally and publicly. Hope, heartbroken, visits Will to try and understand. Will doesn't want to talk, but eventually he tells her the truth. Not the whole thing, but enough. Enough for her to walk away, stunned, unsure if anything she believed about Luna was real. Electra, meanwhile, meets with her lawyers. They advise her that if she stays with Will, she must prepare for reputational damage. But if she walks away now, for things Iskalatesh protects her name, her brand, her future. It's brutal. It's cold. But Electra has always known how to choose power over sentiment. And now, Will forces her to make a decision. He gets down on one knee, not with a ring, but with the truth. He begs her to stay. Says he'll fight. That he'll go public. That he'll burn down the lie. But Electra doesn't answer. She walks out without a word. And across town, Luna packs her things. The police are asking questions. Lawyers are circling. Poppy is gone. Sheila is silent. And Will Spencer is no longer silent. He's preparing a public statement. And in it, he will say the truth, that he was manipulated, that he was lured, that someone he trusted crossed the line. Luna receives a summons the next morning. Civil charges pending. Reputation in freefall. Alone in a hotel room, her phone buzzes. It's a message from an unknown number. Just 4 words. This is just beginning. Because in the bold and the beautiful, no mask stays on forever. No lie stays buried. And no one walks away without paying the price. The reckoning is here. And Los Angeles is watching.